Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today you guys only have me. As you can see in the thumbnail already, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut your own hair at home. No better time to learn how to cut hair than in lockdown. Even though barbershops are still open, I know there's heaps of you guys that don't feel comfortable going into a barbershop. So for those of you that are staying at home and choosing not to go outside, and you guys are just sick of your hair and it's just getting out of control, here are some really quick tips and techniques that might help you guys. I know there's heaps of different techniques on how to cut hair out there. So this is personally how I do my own hair. I've been cutting my own hair since 2010, so it does take a bit of practice, guys. I guess you can just grow your hair out during this lockdown. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to get from this into this. So this is what we call a taper fade, and along with a crop on the top. So the cut I'll be doing today is a taper fade. So basically everywhere will be about a 3 and a 2. But these sections here and here will be nicely tapered down to 0. So it's a nice and clean cut, easy to do at home, hopefully. Tip number 1, make sure your hair is as clean as possible. So without any products, it's always good to start off a haircut when your hair is most at its natural point. So make sure your hair's washed and nice and clean. You want to make sure you clip all your hair out of the way. So the parts that you don't want, obviously clip it off. You want to clip that up. Just a lot of clips. Next clip. As you can see, the hair is really outgrown and it's got this triangular light bulb kind of shape. My last haircut was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so what we're going to do is square the shape a bit and bring that sides in. So I'm going to grab our biggest guard. In this case will be number 3. And we're just going to take out most of the bulk just to bring that shape back in. This one doesn't require a second mirror. I just like to just try and nail that shape. We're not really digging in to the shape, we're just kind of going up and straight up. Now that we've done both sides, we're going to go and do the back. So the back is probably the harder bit. So this is where you want to grab your secondary mirror. The main tip is to not look at the big mirror and try and place the mirror like this and you try and see where your hair is. But the trick is to look into the small mirror and then reflect onto the big one. That way, no matter where you move, you always see yourself. There are other alternatives like the self-cut system, which is an amazing mirror where there's like a 3 kind of fold mirrors and you just hang it in front of a door and you can see every single angle. So when I started cutting my own hair, which is around 2010, 2011, that system was never out. So I've always been doing this kind of technique and I've just been used to it ever since. So now we've got the number 2 guard on and we're just going to go a bit lower to where we went before. So we're not going all the way up now, we're just slowly creating a fade. Now we've got the 1.5 guard on. It's going to go over up until this kind of point. Yeah, we're going lower each time, just to create the fade. So now we've got the number 1 guard. And we're basically going to start fading the sideburns and the rear nape area. So before I start fading down to 0, I always like to grab my trimmers. So right after number 1 is where I like to do all my lineups. This is when you can see the hair pretty nice and clear. Once you start fading down to 0, it tends to be harder to find that previous lineup again. So now's a good time to do your lineup. So around the ear gets really tricky, mainly because you've only got one hand and the other hand is holding the mirror. So there's 2 ways to do this. Either flip your ear down with the same hand somehow, or you grab someone who folds your ears down, I guess. Now that we've done that back line to the front now. What I'm going to do is create that zero line. That's my first guide line to creating that nice taper look. Take out those sideburns. So this is a very important part. Sideburns, it's right in front of your face, so everyone will see what your lineup looks like. So basically, try to stick to the most natural hairline as you can and just work with whatever you got. It's the best tip I can give you right now. Now we're gonna use the foils and just go through all the zero parts and that lineup. So now, no guard, so basically 0.5, and we're just gonna take it up a bit more. So always maintaining a flick out motion and not to create such a harsh line. It'll be easy to take out. Now fully closed. We're gonna grab our 0.5 guard, and this should blend into that one that we did earlier on before. So the right side of the temple, done. Every now and then always try to go back and see whether or not you've tampered with the shape, but so far the shape looks really good, and yeah, really happy with that. And while you're at it, let's just go ahead and remove this disgusting beard, whatever I call this thing. Asian jeans. Now for the back. So far we've got the zero line in, and now we're going to start fading it off. It's 0.5. So we've done the 0.5 and we created a second line. So now we're going to go back down and knock off that zero line that we did initially. .5 guard. Now we're going to try and knock off that line. The sides and back basically completed. So now we're going to cut the top. In my opinion, the top is actually the harder bit to do. So yeah, so roughly we know we want this same style but shorter. Well, let's just lightly spray the hair down. So my trick is, I never really cut blunt, but more in a way just chip into it, so you don't create such a harsh line and it looks nicely textured at the end. The fringe, I like to use a little texturizing blade. It gives it like a really soft finish. So the top has all been cut. I'm liking how this length looks, so let's quickly get cleaned up and I'll see you guys in a bit. So this is the final look and I love it. And there you have it, guys. So that's just how I do my hair, and hopefully you guys can grab a few tips and techniques and hopefully your haircut looks good. So if you guys have any questions or you guys require any more tips, give me a quick DM on my Instagram page. I'll leave it right here. And thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos coming up next week. I'll see you guys in the next one.